Welcome to the next episode of the Real Talk Trader, and we've got a bit of a special episode today. We've got the fellas back and they are having a takeover today. So I do not know what the topic of conversation is, but first things first, I'm getting a question in there. Gents, how is it going and how is your automated trading going? Shay, to you first.
Going really good. Still in a similar position to how I was on our last podcast with the million and funding. Personals are going good. I've had a couple little crazy days here and there. Like I think a couple of weeks ago, done like just under 15 grand in one day on my personal. So that was mad. There, so that was good. And then just literally trying to buy in more challenges and just trying to keep scaling up the capital. Just keep killing it, man.
Nice. And you're in your new house. Lovely to see.
Yeah, mate. New scenery now.
Trading profits, trading. Woo-woo.
I'm decorate it all up. Do you know what I mean? What we've done.
Oh,
cat here.
Right, Jake. We'll let you have a little play with the cat. So, Jake, go on.
I'm doing well. So a little bit of drawdown coming into the year. I showcased, I did 12% as we started from the beginning of the year, so I've reset my account. So it's been doing well, but we came out of drawdown, now we're in profit. So I'm in a real good space. Just a couple of accounts just literally on the border just to pass. So they go back, they go forward. But yeah, it's been a good start to the year. One of the best starts to the year that I had in the last couple of years. Automated trading strategies are brilliant. And I'm going to be biased there, but I worked really hard for that. So the Wizard AI obviously makes a difference. So yeah, it's been good.
Good. Go on then, Jake. Hit us.
So I've actually had quite a slow start to the year. I've had a little bit of drawdown this year. I've had a couple of payouts though, so you've got to look at the positives still. But I'm actually in a bit of drawdown at the moment, but it's just normal with trading.
Brilliant. Oh, you've had some payouts, so you could.
Oh yeah,
it's almost
it's swings and roundabouts, isn't it?
Yeah. So, guys, you're absolutely smashing it. So, guys, you are taking over this podcast today. I do not know what you want to talk about, so I am putting this podcast on the line for you guys to educate those out there on your experiences with trading. So, hit us with it.
I think accountability is quite a big one. We've still got to manage our own accounts, and we're risk managers before traders. I do see a lot of people playing the victim mindset, and there's no room for that in trading. The markets don't give a shit about if you're taking losses or whatnot. So no, you got to take accountability for your trades still.
Give a couple of examples of the victim mindset, because this doesn't just happen in trading. Like, this happens in everyday life. But how can it come into trading?
So obviously we've got automated strategies, haven't we? So we've got all the data there. So sometimes we do have to tweak our strategies to make them sort of in line with current market conditions. So sort of taking 4 or 5 losses in a row and just not tweaking the strategies and leaving it, and then moaning that you're taking the losses, I'd say is a good example of it. So in that situation, I would have paused my strategy, given it a little tweak, and update it to current market conditions, and then set it live again.
So that's actually a great question, and probably one of the ones, or a great point you've made there, and one of the ones actually that I'm being asked the most at the minute, and it'd be great to have an answer from you all. So max consecutive losses, right? You take a strategy live at 2 max consecutive losses. When do you tweak that when it goes over the max consecutive losses? How many over?
I would let it go to 3 max losses, and then I will let it, because then I've got that chance of a trade go back into a winning streak again. So I will allow to get to the 3rd, and then I'll probably take a little tweak at it. And it wouldn't need too much. You're literally dropping the trade somewhere. So I will let it go to the 3rd loss and then just go from there.
For me, I think when it goes to like max consecutive losses of like 3, I think for my mindset, I don't want it to go any more than, I don't want it to go over 2. That's just for me and my mindset. I just like to get a max loss consecutive losses of 2. I don't really like it when it goes to 3, but that's just just falls down to personal preference. Do you know what I mean? So yeah,
I think also going
Yeah.
back to your mindset, you may tweak it. You may get it back to, I don't know, 17-2 again, two maximum losses in a row. But then that trade may come along and take it back into a win from there. I don't care what happens afterwards. When I tweaked it, I'll let it go. I wouldn't see that strategy ever again. So my mindset, that strategy's gone. I've tweaked it and I've just put a part B to it. I always label it 2.0, 3.0. So, yeah, when I see that quite a lot as well. Oh, that strategy, which I tweaked, has now made it 2 wins in a row. Mate, you decided that plan to let it get to 3 losses out of the 2 that you see on the data, and then you move forward. You just don't leave that strategy. It's just, it's pointless. Why look at a strategy again when you've are in the middle of tweaking?
It's no longer your strategy, is it?
Correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Jake, what about you? When do you
I'm
get
the
involved?
same, yeah.
And
I'm 3 losses. I'll give it a tweak. If I can't, if I try and tweak it and I can't get rid of it, then I just let it run. But yeah, I'll give it a little tweak and see if I can do anything with it.
so that's a great example. It's that all 3 of your answers, although they're similar, they are slightly different in a sense of Shay wants to tweak his after 2 because that's how his mindset works. Jay and Jake will wait till 3. I'll wait until 2 over whatever I set it at. And that's the joys of next gen, is you can literally create whatever you want.
I know manual traders have a plan. So like a checklist plan, whatever you want to have. Same with automated trading. Have a little plan, so you know, okay, it's got to 3 losses. I move forward and I move on. You may go to 2 losses plus after the consecutive losses. But that's your plan, and we keep to that. Don't change it halfway through because you've left that strategy on, and then you've seen 4 winners in a row. It's like, yeah, keep to a plan. And I think that's
the plan
really
doesn't have to be the plan doesn't have to be as big either, does it? Compared to manual trading, so you just need a small plan. I think another good one is people chop and change quite a bit. So they could say they hit their 2 or 3 losses or whatever, they might scrap that strategy, put something new on it, and say they take a couple of losses again, they're sort of 5% down, let's say, but it's because they chopped and changed. So a little rule I have is I won't put a new strategy on an account until I've either failed it or passed or got a payout, so the account's reset. So that way you're not chopping and changing your strategy.
So you're not messing with the probabilities there, are you? You've taken
Yeah.
it live with that strategy. That's some really good advice for people using next gen out there. How do you guys
get into like some deep drawdown like that, like they're chopping and changing, and they were thinking, oh, I'm 10% down. But if you had left that one strategy on there and not added one, taken one off, added another, you know, your account wouldn't be sitting like that.
Let the probabilities play out, because it's when you start chopping and changing different pairs, or this gold one's being shit, let me put on a US 30 and that one goes on a shit run. It's like all of a sudden your account's fucking flown down. Then it's like, do you know what I mean? It just doesn't stick. Just let the probabilities play out. Do you know what I mean? All that chopping and changing, that's when things start going left. Do you know what I mean?
Is that what you guys have found best with, like, because you are all funded, you're all successful with trading, whether that be manual trading, automated trading, or both. What would be the one top tip that each of you could give members or anyone out there just looking to potentially get involved in next gen?
I think one thing recently I've just like little bits of like negativity you see, and that I think one tip I'd say is, let's say, like, I don't know, someone in the community, a member, like, for example, you see Jake sending a crazy strategy, or Jay yourself sending some crazy stuff, and then, or you see them get a crazy payout, or just anyone. I feel like some people go about the mindset in the wrong way, in the sense of, like, they'll look at it and think, fuck me, why am I doing it? Or it's annoying them to see someone else's success, whereas I think we all need to be looking at it together and thinking, fuck me, if they can do it, why can't I do it? Do you know what I mean? They're showing me as possible, and it shows you the capabilities next gen has. So why am I beating myself up about it just from someone else's success? Do you get what I mean? That baffles me with that sort of mindset, man. Do you know what I mean?
It goes back to us always knowing it's me versus me. Couldn't care less. respectfully what other people do. It's good to hear about it. It's great to see what is going. You can see the journey. And I think recently we've seen some strategies from people. About 6 months ago, they weren't great. Now, I've seen recently, I think in the last 2 days, someone share a strategy and they don't know who they are, but they've done amazing. And it's like, yeah, take that live. This is what we would have done. But look how much you've grown over the last 6 months. So you can see, but you have to be.
It's a good point for new members, I think, as well. To take the time and take the time to learn the system. So I think some people that sign up, they want the results straight away, or they'll see these strategies being made and think, why can't I make that? But it just takes time, doesn't it, to learn the system? And well, it gets said time and time again, input is output, isn't it? So
Yeah,
that's a good point.
And going on from that, how many strategies do you guys run to each of your accounts, whether they be challenges, funded, like personals? You could run every single one if you really wanted to, and that's how Shay's got massive personal accounts. But how many do you run? Because a lot of people that we see at the minute, they may take a couple of losses, but actually those couple of losses are across one loss, maybe across 4 different strategies. So it's actually only 1% per strategy. So I think this is key for you guys to cover with us and with the viewers.
Yes.
Sorry, Jay, you go first.
So yeah, prop firms. I'm some are 2, some are 3 per account. I've sort of mixed up a bit. So some have 2, so it's a bit more low risk, and then 3, which is a bit more risky. But I'm happy to run 3.
I'm definitely the same. I run around, I'd say on prop firms, I'd say I aim for about three strategies per account. I think that's balance. Like you said, we're risk trader, we're risk manager before trader. So I definitely think around 3 per account for me. I don't like to start doing 4 or 5 unless it's personal, where I can, do you get what I mean? There's no restrictions that way with props. You really got to risk manage it and stuff like that. So I don't want to go overboard with it. So I'll say no more than 3 for me.
I think it's important to get sales in there as well. So quite a few people do 3 strategies that are just longs only. So they could have that live. The markets could be bearish and they're not taking trades, and they're seeing people take wins, and they're thinking, what's going on? They chop and change their strategies, which goes back to what we were speaking about beforehand. So it's good to have some sales in there, in my opinion. How about you, Jay?
Yeah, prop firm for me, 3. But I do lower the risk, and that's just how I manage my mindset. And that's either through the original indicator that I set up, or the alert, or I'll do that through Traders Connect. So I like that, and it's worked well for me. Yes, it's a little bit of a slower, longer game, but I feel very comfortable. And just going back to the symbols, I keep the same symbols on the same account. So if I got a manually trading, for example, it'd just be one account that you manually trade on. So just keeping everything separate, but I keep the same symbols. And then, it's just, for me, it's risk management from there. Personal account, I've got 1 like normal strategy, but I've got 2 aggressive ones as well. So, and I do monitor them because they're quite high volume of trades. So I'm happy then afterwards, when we had a good day, to turn it off, and I'll turn it back on the next day, and whatever happens at the back of it, it happens. So I think from a psychology point of view, I've got that right in my head. And like we say, we go back, it's me versus me. We take accountability and responsibility of what we do. Our actions are things. And just saying one more thing around it as well, that if you're going to test something, you've got demo accounts out there. So use them and test them. And I have a demo account, which I test all my ones that I think, I'm not sure about this, see how it runs, especially from a spreads point of view. And then I'll link it up to the challenges or live account. So it's just been that, and it goes back, no one's ever taught us that. We've had to find that out from ourselves, and experiences from other traders sharing their experiences is great for us. So we take that on board. We listen to what they're saying. Going back to Jake a few times, I've asked Jake a good 6 months ago. I listened to what he was saying and I took on board and put it my way, and some of it's the same. So listen what's happening in the group, in the chat. It's amazing. There's some great inspirations coming through. and then try it yourself, but just don't take it live straight away if you don't feel comfortable, because you don't
That's
know
a
what that
good point.
strategy is going to turn out.
I think to just touch up on what you said about finding stuff out for yourself. Something I do get a lot of messages about is prop firms. So like there are so many prop firms out there. We all have the same tools as everyone else, and you know I do my own research. It's pretty simple. If you want to find a good prop firm, you just look through the FAQs of the prop firm, go on Trustpilot, see if they've got bad reviews, anything that's shady that's coming up, and then just get a small challenge if you want to test them out. You don't have to go big for like a 200k or anything like that. Just get a small 25k, something like that, if you want to test them out. But yeah, I just wanted to touch
Are
up
you
on that as well.
guys? Are you guys all trying weird and wonderful prop firms out there at the minute?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You gotta do your own homework on it. Do you know what I mean? And give it a try. You can't wait for people to suggest in the group chat. Expect to get spoon fed. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't work like that. So we all gotta do our own homework. And there's plenty of prop firms out there. Do you know what I mean? To give it a go.
Exactly.
Like Jake said, you don't need to go for a big 200k account or anything. You get a 10k, 25, like, do you know what I mean? Start small, and like Jay said, like also referring back to that sense of if you've got a strategy that you may want to test out, you don't need to put it on your account straight away. There's plenty of demo accounts to play with first.
Exactly, and I think I'm literally trying out 9 other different prop firms, maybe even 10. And yes, I won't share them. Like I've been asked, but I won't share them until I am confident and comfortable with them, because ultimately, like Jay's been saying, it's you versus you. So don't just take what I'm saying. Do what you think is the right thing.
Our investment that we put into them, and now you've got this prop firm like comparisons as well, so you can have a look.
Yeah, prop firm
some
match
of
is
them
good.
are like $5,000 accounts, like $30, $50, $40. That's it. Just try it, work it out, see what happens, and find out for yourself. So and this goes back from day one. We've had to do it ourselves. We had to find out. We couldn't come to you or Ryan asking where it's, because you guys didn't know. It's new as well. So we had to find out for ourselves. And I think you guys coming in and the newbies and everything, just find out. Do your research.
Right. One other thing I want to quickly touch on is prop firm versus personal accounts. So a lot of people come in, and I've almost taken back over this now, but I want to, because you guys are building personal accounts, I am building personal accounts. So has it changed your view on prop firms, or are you still all going to rinse prop firms to keep building those personal accounts?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like,
I stocked up massively this year to try out some new ones. Yeah, no, definitely prop firms are still the way. But you just use that money to fund your personal account, because the end goal is a big personal account, because no one's taking that away from you. You can trade however you want, no rules. So yeah, that is the end goal. But yeah, you have to get there with prop firms, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll still, even if I had a big personal account, I'd still always use prop firms.
You might as well rinse them once you've got them.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, prop firms, they're there to be rinsed. You know what I mean? So it's like, why am I not gonna call it personal? Yeah, it's good. Like, I've got my personal that's obviously my main focus, but due to the restrictions and not having no restrictions and stuff like that, but prop firms are there to be rinsed, and there's so many of them. Why am I not going to do it and build my personal even more? Do you know what I mean? It's all about making money in this game. Do you know what I mean?
Making money so you can go away every week.
Yeah, exactly. That's
what we see. You're like you're in a different place. I'm like, oh, where's he gone now? Taking a withdrawal and then you're off.
Yeah,
so that's hard work. You worked hard last year as well, so he deserves that. Like last year, he worked extremely hard. Made some good milestones.
We all have, man. We've all been killing it. You know what I mean? And this year's only gonna be.
We're just getting started.
We
are just getting started. So one more question then before we end the podcast today that I want to know is, what do you guys want come the end of 2026? What's your biggest goal?
For me, it's 100k personal account. That's a big milestone I want to reach. I'm going to say 2 million in funding, but I think I'll reach that. I'm going to say 3 million. I'm going to put it out there.
Ooh,
yeah,
end of the year. I'm writing this down.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'd probably say keep building my personal account. But I think for me, similar to Jake in the sense of funding, I think between 2 and 3 million for me by the end of the year, I'll be happy with that. That's a big milestone for me, I think, next. I'd like to say I'd achieve that. So yeah, we'll see.
Anything's possible. Like literally anything is possible in this game.
Yeah.
Anything is.
Honestly.
Go on, Jay. What are your big goals? Come on.
For me, this year will be £1 million in funding. And I think that would be a milestone for me. Nearly halfway there. So hopefully that's good, moving in the right direction. Then obviously can scale up to that £1 million. So that's the aim.
Exciting.
I've only set myself at the moment just touching 5 figures on a personal account. So that is my goal over time. I think just showing that consistency for me has been still that massive thing.
Right,
good.
thank you guys for coming on again, and I took over your podcast. I'm so sorry, I cannot help it, but it's so good to hear your views. I know members absolutely value them because the 3 of you are so experienced, so helpful in the community, and it's just valuable what you guys say, because people, they think that all they see is Shay's got this massive personal account, Jay's absolutely smashing it, Jake's just got funding coming out of his ears. That's all people see, and your amazing strategies. They do not see how you get to this point, the work you've put in. So you guys keep showing them on this exactly where you are. I get so many comments, and it's just a testament to the work that you guys have put in. And look at where you all are from when we did our first ones, our first individual ones, or our first chats.
Amazing.
We're only getting started, as we've already said. So thank you guys for coming on, and there's going to be so many comments and good feedback from this, and thank you again, and we'll get you on again in the next couple of months.
Thank you.
Thank you.